So today guys, I'm making a video for you guys. I can show you guys how to make the Nigerian sponge cake. Yes, the Nigerian sponge cake. Not pound cakes, because most people do not know the difference between pound cake and sponge cakes. So today I'm going to show you how to make the original Nigerian sponge cake. Okay, so if you live in Lagos or you live in Abuja, if you live in Abuja and you've ever bought a cake from Oasis Bakery, I don't think Oasis Bakery still exists, but if you ever bought a cake from there, yes, that really nice soft spongy cake, like the inside is white, yes, covered in cream. That's the cake I'm going to show you guys how to make today. And I'm going to show you how to make it in a pot versus making it in an oven. And at the same time, I'm going to show you how to measure with tablespoons, just in case you don't have measuring cups at home. So today we're going to measure everything we're going to use in tablespoons. So guys, if you want to see how that goes, just stay tuned and keep watching.
So guys, the first thing you're going to need is egg. Like, you're going to need 6 eggs. So you need 5 egg yolks, yes, and 6 egg whites. And you're going to separate the egg yolks from the egg whites. And while you're doing that, you have to make sure you separate them really well, so like the egg yolks do not mix with the egg whites, yes, otherwise your egg whites won't whip well. And before you pour your egg whites into any bowl, regardless of what kind of bowl you're using, you have to wipe down the bowl with maybe a tissue paper or maybe a clean napkin, possibly, okay, a tissue paper or a clean napkin, so there won't be any fluid in your bowl. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is to add some flour, and now you need about 18 tablespoons of flour and 4 tablespoons of cornstarch or potato starch, whatever it is you're using. And you have to make sure you sift them first. Yes, they have to be sifted first before you use them. And then you're going to add that to the bowl where your egg yolks are in. So then the next thing you need is 60 grams of butter. And if you don't have something to measure, then how you measure 60 grams of butter is melt your butter in the microwave, make sure it's liquidy, and then you fetch 5 tablespoons of butter from the liquid butter if you can measure it, you get. And then you're going to pour that into the bowl and mix well. The mistake I made when I was doing this was I didn't mix it well before adding my milk into it, and I didn't add my milk in batches, so like there were lumps in it, so I had to like spend more time to break up the lumps. So when you do this, the first thing you want to do at this point, yeah, after you added the butter, is to mix it really well. Make sure it's well combined, and then you add your milk to it. And at this stage, you need 60 grams of milk as well. And if you don't have something to measure with, another thing you can do is fetch 4 tablespoons of milk, and it's best you add them in batches. Don't add them all at once like I did. That kind of made it difficult for me to stir it, and it gave me lumps. So it took me a while to like stir out and like, you know, punch out the lumps kind of. Okay, so the next thing you want to do now is to whip up your egg whites. So the egg whites are poured in a bowl. We're going to put it in the mixer and use, at this point you need a mixer, a stand mixer or hand mixer, and then you're going to use the sugar you fetched. And at this point you need 180 grams of sugar, which is equivalent to 15 tablespoons of sugar. And you're going to be adding it in parts, don't add it all at once, because that way it makes it difficult, and then there will be tiny particles of sugar in your meringue, because it's called a meringue. So you want to be adding it in batches, just be adding it small, and that way it whips well and it incorporates well, if that makes sense. Okay, so what you want is you want to whip this until you have a very stiff peak, and I'm going to show you what that means right now. It means you're going to whip it until it is very white and it kind of looks like lather from soap. See how white this is? And then I'm going to show you what a stiff peak is. So you lift your this thing, and then yeah, that's a stiff peak. You lift your beater, and then once it forms that stiff thing and it's not like runny, that's a stiff peak. So at this point we're going to take some of our meringue and put it into the bowl and then mix it. The reason why we're doing this, we're tempering it. It's called tempering. You don't want to pour it all at once, because that way you deflate what you mixed up. So temper it first and then pour it into your bowl of meringue and then stir. And you don't stir, fold. If you stir, you're going to puncture the old meringue you made, and then like it will deflate. So what I just did was I added some vanilla essence. You can add it anytime. There is no like specific time for you to do that. So, and then you want to fold. It looks like I'm folding it really fast. I promise I'm not folding it fast. It's because like this video was kind of fast forwarded a little, so it wasn't this fast. You want to fold this slowly so that you don't like deflate the meringue you whipped up. Okay, so once you do that, I'm going to talk about how I prepped my bowl. I already prepped my baking pan, and I prepped two round pans and a square pan, because this was a lot. It was a lot more than I thought it would be. So I rubbed some butter into them and then floured it, and then I'm going to put some parchment paper so my cake doesn't stick. Yeah, yes. And apart from that, I had some extra batter, so I kind of baked the remaining in a square pan. I'm going to show you guys at the end of this video. I kind of frosted that, and that was so nice. Okay, so you want to put your parchment paper inside because you don't want it to stick to your bowl, because that way like to just make your life more difficult. So now we're going to pour our batter into our bowls, yeah, and then we are going to bake. And the amazing thing today is we're not going to dry bake it, we're going to steam bake it, and I'm just going to show you the difference and what that means. So what you want to do is put a bowl, yes, on the gas cooker or on the stove, whatever it is you're using, and put the heat to turn up the heat to the barest minimum, and put some water into the pot, yes. And then you want to put something down before you put your bowl, because you don't want your baking pan to be in direct contact with the water, because you're not trying to boil or poach your cake, you're just trying to steam bake it. So you're going to cover the pot with a foil, and then cover the foil, put on top of the foil the cover of the pot. Finished. And it takes like maybe, I think this took around 15 minutes basically, yeah. And you shouldn't open it until after 15 minutes, because that way you let out the heat. You know, this is not an oven, this is just a pot. You're baking in a pot, so leave it for at least 15 minutes before you open it. And now it is done, and see how perfect it looks, guys. I baked the other one. I tried baking the other one in the pot, but like, I don't know, I just wanted to see the difference, so I kept it in the pot at first, but after a few minutes I took it out and kept it in the oven. And the one I baked in the pot was so fluffy, guys. It was so soft. See how perfect this looks like. I didn't even have a video because I think I ate it almost immediately. I started eating it almost immediately. It was so nice, like it was a perfect cake. So this was one I baked in the oven, so I'm showing you guys. The only difference was that the one I baked in the pot, like the one I baked in the oven had like a brown top, but the one I baked in the pot, the top was like very light, and so like it looks like today's bread if you're Nigerian. It was so nice. See how fluffy and bouncy it is. So nice. Okay guys, so if you want to try this is a very easy recipe, and this was the remnant I baked in a pan, in a square pan, because it was remaining. So if you don't want this much, you can simply halve the recipe, divide the recipe into two halves, two equal halves, and then you can make like half of it, and that will be less. This cake was so nice. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you haven't followed me, guys, please click on the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel, so that every time I post something new you will get it first. Okay guys, thank you for watching, and I hope this video was useful to you, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Thank you guys, and subscribe if you haven't. I won't say it twice. Thank you.